Hello guys, welcome back. Welcome to another live stream. It's another Saturday, so it's another weekly market analysis we're going to do together. So let's try to see good levels for the week ahead, and what direction should you expect market to go to. Is the dollar reversing? Was this the bottom yesterday? Euro as well. Well, is it better now? Is it working better now? Yeah, I need to I need to stop touching the cable. I always kind of have the feeling when I'm speaking that to touch something, and sometimes I start touching the microphone and the cable that it connects, and I may disconnect it by mistake. So yeah, I need to stop touching the microphone. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so dollar index, is this reversal? Is this the low for of the month? Maybe are we starting a kind of a new cycle and pushing dollar to the upside, right? That's something that it may happen. That may be the case. Something that one of the reasons for me even to say that, or something that usually it's nice to see, and it's something similar that occurred in March, I think even in February as well, and in January over there at that high, is when the market is synchronized in such a way that basically the move that turned the market, it happened all at the same time. And it was yesterday with the retail sales news event. To be honest, I was kind of a little bit caught by surprise. I was not expecting such a volatile reaction of the news. It looked like more of a NFP kind of reaction than just a normal retail sales, with a spike towards one direction. Now all of a sudden the reverse straight afterwards, and you could see that it happened basically in the major FX pairs all around, even gold included as well. And that actually it reacted from beautiful levels. So if you want to do the exercise of studying with precision exactly where each one of them, even dollar index, Aussie, euro, yen, dollar franc Swiss, dollar CAD, and so on, even the pound, and so on. All of them reaction from really good levels that they are. You should study them. It was not all the same, because it varies as well if the extreme was already it has already been touched or not. But yeah, really good reactions. And when it happens, having synchronized like that, and then the follow up as well, and then even finishing the day close to the highs. That most likely on Monday we are going to see maybe a continuation to the upside. So now kind of it would be interesting to see maybe price holding a little bit and creating a new high and having a little bit kind of a continuation until it gets there. So what you want to see is maybe basically starting to see some structure that can start to hold price upwards anytime it retraces a little bit. That's kind of something to look for in order for actually these lows to hold and to kind of maybe become maybe the lows of April. And from now for the next 2 weeks, maybe until the next FOMC meeting, we're going to have a rally on the on the dollar. We're going to try to see maybe where actually these lows reacted from as well. Yeah, we'll try to see that. You guys remember from my previous analysis on the dollar, I was kind of a little bit bullish in the sense that I was still with open possibility of seeing these lows kind of holding price, because as I mentioned, kind of this high kind of broke a little bit out the structure in here. I'm not exactly sure if it actually broke that level. If you actually pay attention to it a bit more in detail, we had all this in here, we had this high, all that one, and then kind of the extreme of the extreme. It may have not taken, but either way, I'm still kind of looking for price to eventually to continue to go higher. Question mark was, should we expected price to have reversed kind of within these lows? And yeah, as you could see, there was not exactly any kind of break of a high. As I mentioned, the approach kind of matters. Another situation to be looking at the euro, right? Because the euro actually never managed to break this structure in here. In this case, it would be the lows, right? It never really managed to break that level. It was a bit more clear on the euro, and this is where correlation plays a big part as well. On where, or in case that actually maybe you should still expecting kind of the dollar also to react from here or to break. As you can see on the euro, the break of the respective high, it was much higher than, as you can see on the break of this low. This visually the break of this low, as you can see, is just a small break. And as you see, it didn't even break the level on the left side, so it is still reacted basically from within the same demand in there. We can actually now take a look into that on 30 minutes. We have those two lines. Let's just see actually where actually dollar index is reacting from on the left side, and it is from this level in here, right? It's still within this week. Basically, it didn't even manage to break this this one. It's still traded or kind of reacted still within this level. So even though we kind of fake out the high, the low, or broke a little bit the low in there, we are still trading inside here. And to be honest with you, I actually still, or I'm actually, when I now analyze again where actually the lows were reacting from, I actually would like to see maybe dollar index going a little bit lower in the future, maybe before a turn. I do like this level somewhere in here to look for below this week, or even then eventually a little bit more underneath as well could be an option. But for now, I actually kind of like this zone in here to look for. So I'm going to be okay even if price eventually goes back down and kind of takes these lows again, kind of to see if it reacts a little bit more closer to this level again in there. But for now, okay, price still literally reacted within this this week in here, this demand zone that we have in there. All right, so yeah, that's kind of what we have. So for after that, what do we have on the dollar index, right? So literally our week has been moving to the downside, and you could see, and you start, and those can be actually one of the best opportunities. You can start kind of noticing how kind of price moves for a few days in any direction. Eventually you are going to have either some kind of retracement or rebounds from there, which can maybe be the good opportunity, or we may have actually a deeper reversal in there, right? And those are actually the kind of opportunities that I'm going to try to focus more after seeing price getting extended for a couple of days or 3 days. Try to catch the reversal, especially of course when price starts to compress, to try to look for that opportunity. So if we actually analyze now where actually that spike occurred during the news, so we had the low, right? Then this is and that low eventually, by being faked out, can be used as a left shoulder if price by any chance wants to go to the upside. So eventually we can almost just keep a line, horizontal line within that low, and you'll see that price, even with the spike, first it was already touched in here with a pip, and then with the spike, kind of it went with there one more time to eventually break, kind of to react again from there with the spike level, right? And something that we can do, especially during these news events, like usually the spike, the spike doesn't react, kind of the reaction from the zone where the spike reacts from is not by chance, right? And usually you can actually try to understand and study the levels where the spikes react from, because those are usually the levels where price tends to go to, and you call it kind of the origins or kind of the fresh levels that were still in there around that structure. And sometimes during the news, yes, it's going to react there with a spike. If it's not with the news, price will go just there, react from there naturally, take a little bit for longer, but it's a level that you want to be paying attention to, because that's usually where price reacts from. So be aware of it. Sometimes, yes, with the news, maybe harder to trade, unless you kind of place a buy limit in there, but on other times, price will just go there slowly. Yeah, it may make a strong reaction there, but then maybe you have opportunity to trade after that. So that's basically where it reacted. We had that low that we just faked out, and as price starts price to kind of break highs in here, it looks like starts being bullish, or shows signs of bullishness. We even kind of took this one. I don't even know if we took this one as well or not. Yeah, we did, right? This is perfect. This is exactly what we want to see. The break of structure in here, the break of this high, and then just a big quick spike, and price just goes there, takes it. I was definitely not expecting to see that. I was looking at the chart, as you know, kind of look at around 12 charts at the same time. I saw Aussie reacting from a level that I was mentioning for a few weeks now. I was looking for longs on USD CAD as well. Been following CAD going down for a while, and it reacted richly from one of the extremes on the left side. It was just too quick, and I noticed also pound. It was a level that I had reacting and reversing. When I saw kind of price reversing, touching across all the different pairs, the levels that in theory I would be interested in trading. That's kind of okay. Price actually was about to reverse from here. Yeah, price will just turn. Because when you see them reacting from where they should, that's kind of a strong indication as well that price eventually is not just a kind of small spike and then price to continue in that direction. It's actually kind of works as a reversal in that moment. So yeah, what's next on the dollar index, right? So what can we see in here? We do have kind of this previous level of supply. Price can work a little bit in there as a zone of support. Of course, then we do have also this level in here as an extreme. If price by any chance wants to go all the way back in here, of course we now have this level of structure in here. I don't really think that price will going to retest this level that soon. I prefer to see price going higher first. This level basically was almost touched already as a continuation, which is again another good level to look for, right? Price breaks a high, kind of retests, and didn't really touch it, and attempts to go higher again. I have a little bit of this compression in here. So yeah, so it's trying to see where maybe price can continue and continue to move to the upside, at least as a minimum, to get closer to this level, right? With these lows in here as well. As a minimum, I think that's kind of where the dollar is going to, if not actually going to expand even more and continue. We also have, of course, this previous level of structure in here on the left side without these lows. So even as a continuation in here, that can be a good continuation level within this demand zone in here that price can use on Monday to continue to move to the upside. So somewhere in there could be in alignment with this previous level of support, and that maybe can work now as a continuation. And this is kind of what we want to look for. It's kind of these levels that worked in the past on the left, and now most likely they're going to be working also on the opposite side in here. And yes, we do have kind of this demand zone as well in there. This one goes in alignment with that other level that we have in here, right? This kind of quasi-model in here that kind of was broken to the upside, so maybe it can work as a long. It didn't work as a short, so it may work as a long. Yeah, just keep an eye on those, and you'll see. But definitely expecting Monday, after such a strong Friday that we had, expecting Monday to kind of continue in the same direction as last Friday, as yesterday. So yes, are we going to go all the way through and retest this highs? Yeah, we'll see. There's no need to rush to make that prediction right now. Of course, we still have kind of a little bit of these barriers. It's true that some of them, they kind of start to look like compressed in here. So eventually we may actually continue and break to the upside. Let's see. Next week there's not going to be any big news event. Yes, we did start the earnings season now. Yesterday, major banks announcing their earnings. But yeah, not really any big news event for next week. We had CPI which come out lower than expected, which is good. As you could see, retail sales, it was terrible, and we had all this reaction in here on the dollar. But yeah, I could still see. I could at least on Monday continuation to the upside, and then if we continue to break some levels, I think we can literally go higher. And again, by the way that price reacted from during the news and reacted basically all of them in a really nice level, I could see maybe this one working as the new low for April, and maybe price retracing from here, kind of starting a new cycle. It is for the next 2 weeks. But now I would like to see, of course, on Monday some kind of continuation and noticing some of these levels to literally managing to hold price, so price can start moving away from here. Yes, overall this level in here, as you can see, it works kind of as a double bottom. We have this structure, we have price pausing in here. This is a 4-hour time frame, so basically price pausing there for a full day. Okay, not maybe a full day, but yeah, it paused in here for a lot of time, and this can actually work quite nicely as a potential zone to maybe to look for a continuation in there. Yeah, maybe price can retest there, can go higher a little bit, maybe can then fake out a little bit more into this, and maybe use this level once again as a continuation to the upside. So those are a little bit of the approaches that I'll be looking for on dollar index as a continuation to the upside. Yeah, so if you take a look at the indices, right? So we're going to look at the S&P and the NASDAQ. So what we have in here, right? Again, fake out and price kind of moving a little bit to the downside, kind of reacted from this level. Looking at the bigger picture, now S&P is approaching more and more the highs. The indices, I'm still looking for price to go a little bit higher. We are kind of compressing again, kind of a lot of compression in here. Not exactly lows being taken yet, kind of respecting, and price still kind of creating new higher highs all around. And as I mentioned before, I'm kind of looking for price to maybe go a little bit higher to actually take all this structure in here before maybe any turn that you may have in here on the S&P. So it's a level to pay attention to. There's maybe still some orders in here to look for, but eventually I would like to see price going there. Again, these earnings seasons, of course, is going to create. So it's not going to be just based on macro data. that the indices are going to be moving, or the catalyst for them is going to be also is the earnings season, right? How well or not the results are going to be. For sure, that's going to have a big impact on the S&P, NASDAQ, and so on. So yeah, continuation to the upside. We are in this kind of compression again. When we are in this kind of compression in here, there's going to be opportunities to either look for shorts or longs until eventually we may turn, right? So as you know, anytime you kind of have a little bit of this compression, eventually when you do turn, maybe expect then maybe a strong sell-off from here, or strong move to the downside until kind of we find a next structure in there. That's basically what I'm looking for in here. Eventually to take this highs, even to take all the way that this supply level where price is reacting from, and to go react towards to the next one. That's kind of where I'll be looking for price to go a little bit higher than this, somewhere in there. And NASDAQ as well. NASDAQ had a little bit more of this detail that actually managed to break this level in here, this structure in here that had hold price once, kind of twice as well, and they managed kind of to break. Kind of this can be worked or can be seen maybe as an engulf to the downside, one of the first ones to the downside, and maybe eventually price wants to navigate towards that level. So maybe a little bit on us starting to realize a little bit of a tendency or kind of indication that maybe price wants to go a little bit more, even though kind of is still around this previous level of support resistance, right? So it's just a small detail. It's not exactly maybe that thing that clear, but it's some indication that we start noticing in here. We have this range also. Again, price just slightly took this high in here and then dropped. Again, there's maybe still a little bit of an opportunity in here, but just similar to S&P, I'm looking for price to go still a little bit higher. I really want to see price retesting maybe a little bit more this highs from August before maybe attempting to look for that sell opportunity. So let's see if by any chance price eventually is going to go a little bit higher, take literally all these highs in here, maybe attracting too many sellers into this level, but then maybe just be trapped before maybe price then moves to the downside. Again, I'm not rushing it. I'm just going to keeping an eye on this level, and then we'll see. Again, if even price kind of breaks this level, I want to see kind of that level of structure that most likely is going to be created. Now I'm to this level before maybe price that actually breaks it, breaking this structure in here that most likely is going to be created in alignment with that high. And if you do break that level, then maybe you can go down. Otherwise, if price just respected it, maybe we'll even just continue to go higher and even maybe create new highs altogether. We'll see what's going to happen. Right, we are basically 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? 3 weeks away from 3 weeks. 3 weeks and a half from the next FOMC meeting on the 3rd of May. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, nice to see a little bit of a range in here in case you kind of even look for a reversal. Again, I'm just talking in terms of reversals. That's kind of how my brain works. I'm more of a counter trend trader. If by any chance you are looking for continuation setups, yeah, anytime you do have those retracements, you can try to attempt to look for it, right? Maybe price goes back towards to this level. Maybe you can try to attempt to look for that move higher. Maybe even another test of this demand zone. Maybe kind of pushing it, keep looking for price to move higher. Right, and actually overall I may still think that the indices may go still a bit down. I think the economy is going to get worse before it even gets any better, but we do know that the market is not exactly a reflection of it sometimes. So we'll see what's going to happen. Yeah, so again, yeah, that's that. Actually, we can look at the DAX as well. If we look at the DAX is an interesting one, and let's see if we are not close to a reversal. The DAX, we kind of had predicted that big move, so actually initially we were looking for, or I was looking for price to take this high and then kind of have a big move down. But the big move down actually occurred even underneath this level, which was this move in here, and price literally went all the way to respect the respective target that I was aiming for. After all this compression, I wanted to see price kind of basically going below that level, and this was the next level, like this previous level of support resistance in here, with this IKM as well. Right, we have kind of this left shoulder fake out. It's kind of a quasi-mode that price broke it to the upside, so kind of it's a nice zone and that target for that sell opportunity. That's done, it reached. So then eventually we start noticing that price was just moving higher without breaking any lows, and there you go. We finally took these highs and we are approaching this level in here. Of course, we do have these all-time highs in here on the DAX. They can be super attractive eventually for price to even go and take them out. That's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in here, and it's just interesting to see how the indices are approaching all-time highs in a situation where we are at this point, with inflation, with so many issues going on. It's just amazing. So yes, we do have our destruction here. We may have broken this wall slightly by a few points in there. Really nice to take or to use this high kind of a little bit of liquidity. You can try to see exactly with precision where maybe DAX is reacting to on the left side and what kind of levels I'm actually looking for. Yeah, so price I think is still kind of trading within underneath this level, and I may look for a little bit of a price to actually go above this level, maybe a little bit into that, maybe before the turn. So we may have a little bit more of a room to the upside. This maybe that level as well. Yep, maybe that one can be one of the last ones in here. Otherwise, maybe price then eventually is going to feel all this compression all the way through in there, and maybe react from something in here. Maybe using a little bit of this left shoulder. You may have a little bit of destruction here. There's maybe this supply that is created in there. Let's take a look into this. I don't know if I have enough historical data to investigate this. I may not have it. Maybe just 1 hour. We have something in here still price could go to, or something within these levels. Also can be interesting. So I want to see maybe price going or creating a little bit more of a high and getting into that zone. Just actually extend the rectangle to the left and actually like this level as well. In there, we check the environment to this one that broke that low. A little bit of destruction in here. Yeah, so let's see. Something to keep an eye on the DAX. Kind of respecting this level now. Eventually we may have the turn, even if it's just to fill all the way until here. Can be interesting. We mentioned as well that price never really managed to break this low, and therefore looking for price to go higher and to create a new high. If you had broken maybe this structure in here, maybe then could look for something a little bit underneath, maybe just towards that level. But for now we kind of respected it. So eventually this may be the range that I would like to see being filled all the way until there on the DAX, at least, if not even further down. So it's something to keep an eye on. For example, breaking this low, maybe then kind of just continue to go a little bit higher before we do have the turn. Use these left shoulders in here, these highs, as something that can be used to then look for that sub opportunity after we do have that fake out happening in there. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to pay attention to for next week. Yeah. All right, so the Originate is done. Something else that you pay attention to, of course, is the Euro index, which is really getting to the extreme of this level. Isn't really broken, but there's maybe a high probability that it will. And kind of this high in here, we may go all the way through and retest eventually maybe that 1041. Yeah, we may actually go all the way to that level. How can I extend this? yeah, eventually we may go all the way through to that level. This point here as well. We have something like that. We have of course all that structure just above it as well. Yeah, it was touching there as well. It was touching here as well just before it. And yeah, maybe somewhere in there can be interesting, just above all these highs in here. So you may enter into this compression zone. There's maybe something in here with this fast move up and down in there. Price may use it, and it may use that level. So considering on the left side, right, when eventually price breaks this level, it may react from here, somewhere in there. It may move to the downside, and then eventually we're going to maybe have that continuation to feel all this compression here, all this compression here, and eventually maybe then take it, react from there, and maybe have a little bit of a reversal on the euro. But for now, we are still kind of trading or reacting from within this, underneath these walls in there. So yeah, whatever I draw in here is considering on the left side, on the right side, that may happen in there, right? For example, and which level could price go to? So for example, price could kind of break a little bit, go to that level. It kind of have on the left side, and maybe go down. After that, maybe take out this structure in here, maybe react. Of course, we still have kind of this zone in here, which is basically taken by this one, so it's weaker. So this level is done. The retest of this previous high in here, it was taken by this spike to downside into this demand zone. So you may even go all the way to test maybe this demand zone now, before maybe the continuation to the upside. It's not just because you enter into a compression zone that price will just feel it immediately. Price may actually have a little bit of a retracement first, may even take some lows, and then it's going to resume to move upwards to feel that compression, and maybe go to the next level, and then maybe can start having the reverse and maybe go all the way until here, right? Nevertheless, we saw that again, the euro dollar, for example, returned, right? We saw euro dollar moving to the downside yesterday, but we saw euro yen, we saw euro Aussie. For example, just those, I think euro pound as well, we saw them moving higher, and that's kind of why we actually are seeing this euro index continue to move to the upside, or kind of a little bit in the range. It was not a euro move yesterday, okay? It was more of a dollar move than anything else. So yeah, euro index, right? So let's see if by any chance, as you can see, literally this one, it was already taken by that spike. That's done in there. So we'll see now what's going to happen in here. Kind of holding it a little bit at this point. With all these highs in here, I'm literally expecting this level to be broken. But again, it's another way for us to understand that there's no kind of rush into trying to force sales. There was a sell opportunity, of course, around these highs, especially when you broke this, when you manage to break this low, maybe under testing there, there's maybe that opportunity. And exactly the same thing that I mentioned before on the DAX, that whatever moment we break the highs, I think it was DAX, to then pay attention to the level of structure that is created around the break of that level, and if price by any chance keeps respecting it, we just go higher. If by any chance breaks it, maybe there's indication to look down. Like in this case on the euro index, it was this level, right? This was the level that we needed to pay attention to and see, is price going to respect it and continue to go higher, or is price kind of going to break it and maybe start not showing indication that it wants to go to the next zone. In this case, literally, it paused a little bit in here, it moved lower, respect the level, and just continue to go higher. So since we never managed to break this level, there's no need to look for a sell. And again, if you look for trend continuation, this maybe could have been exactly the entry that you were looking for, at least to have a little bit more of a reaction to the upside. Right, so pay attention to those levels that are created usually in alignment with the break of that important level of structure. Sometimes a little bit higher, sometimes a little bit lower, but it should be somewhere in alignment with that level in there. So yeah, most likely we're going to see that one maybe going to continue to go higher. And then the yen pairs, right? Yen pairs actually one that made me a little bit upset on Thursday. I got a break-even trade on euro yen and I missed out the move to downside, and then I literally missed the short also on pound yen. And this case because of the break of the price not breaking the walls and not opening price. I'll show it in a little bit. Because we never really had that break to downside, and I ignored the test of the highs and I didn't took the trade on euro yen. In this case, actually then moved my target to break even, my stop loss to break even, and I got stopped out at break even because price never really broke the wall, kind of to open space to go further down. I kind of reached the initial target, and that was it. So yes, yen, right? So we are, as I mentioned, and if you remember, I was kind of looking still for price to break below these walls. We finally managed to do that, and there you go. Price starting to react from this level in here of resistance. I mean of demand. There's maybe a little bit more of an extreme in here that maybe price may wants to go to. We do have a little bit of these left shoulders in there, but there you go. This was the move. This move to the upside, and also it was the move to downside on the yen. That kind of I tried to trade, and just similar to what I mentioned now on the euro index. Well, on the euro index, right, as you can see, in here, this value in here on euro index is this one, right? On dollar yen, on yen index, this is the level, right? Sometimes it's not exactly in alignment with the break of it. It's maybe a little bit above it, because this is actually the zone, or the kind of the decision point to break out this level. We didn't really manage to break to create any kind of structure in here. This is the zone in here. If you want to consider even the lows, you can consider it, but mostly this is the zone. You can catch this week as the low of this candle as well. As there you go. This is the zone. This is the structure that if you want to attempt to look for longs, again, you can look for longs. It's kind of the same way, and kind of looking for shorts or whatever. You can look for longs as price is reacting from here. But in order to give you actually maybe the confirmation that price wants to go higher, it's not even just expecting this high to be broken. Is actually to expect maybe this structure altogether to be broken. And this is maybe where you have that confirmation. Okay, price may be close to reverse, or at least reverse from this level, because price may still actually expect to reverse, but we may actually go a little bit deeper into this demand zone before we may do it. And it's something to keep an eye on the yen index for this week, is to see how price is going to react from this level. We do have kind of this left shoulder in there. Price kind of reacted a little bit from this demand zone, which is nice. We can actually zoom out a little bit more to see if by any chance we should expect actually price eventually to go a little bit lower towards that level in here, or should we kind of expect maybe, or there's a chance that maybe price wants to react from here. This one was also basically a retest of this support resistance. We have a little bit of this level. It's already touched a bit in the extreme. There's maybe a little bit more farther down in here, but eventually maybe price wants to go even a little bit lower. We'll see. Nevertheless, this level can be an interesting one to see what's going to happen. Meanwhile, that's affecting maybe the yen. The new governor basically came out. I don't know if it was on Monday, just mentioning that his approach, monetary policy is basically it's going to be the same or in alignment with the previous governor, right? So again, still a dovish approach, not looking to change the direction at this point. We'll see what's going to happen in the next few months, right? And that's why we're kind of seeing the yen just moving to the downside in here. A weaker yen in this case. So yep, it's going to be interesting to see how price is going to react from around this level. Maybe we can even draw now new maybe trend line in here to look at, right? So we have seen quite a strong bullish move now on the euro yen, on dollar yen, and so on in here. Yeah, paying attention to those levels. Those are kind of the indications where price eventually may want to turn. Let's take a look at the individual currency pairs. Guys, again, if you're enjoying, if you're taking advantage or benefit for anything that that I'm sharing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, or you can share as well with your trading friends. Yeah, feel free to do so and to help the channel to grow. So there you go. We are at looking at the euro dollar, and this is kind of what I was mentioning before when I was also analyzing the dollar index. All right, so this is actually a beautiful zone in here, all the way from the lows. As you can see, price literally went all the way back to. Just change this. Oh, come on. Okay, good. 1 second, guys. But all right, good. There you go. Like, so what I said even last week, if you guys remember, or even the week before that, like when I noticed that price respected this level quite nicely, it's literally kind of the origin of this move to the upside, because from here is where we managed to create this high and to break out the structure. Since we respected without any break of this level, and actually respected all the way through with precision to that level in here, basically the Quasimodo in there, or kind of the extreme, maybe a little bit more in there as well. Therefore, there was no engulf down, and eventually, what you should be expecting is actually for price to go and break this high. Of course, we can follow price. We can try to see if by any chance it starts to noticing any break of lows. We kind of respected that level, kind of in here as well. We started to have this kind of double top in here, which is quite interesting. And we did have then a little bit of that move when price kind of reacted from that level. But we just literally reacted all the way through this level. You can see on the daily time frame, basically reacting from the base in here. You guys know how much I like this levels, kind of the opening of the candles within this week, and then we just continue to move upwards, right? It's just somebody that kind of respected this level in here, and you just moved somebody that kind of respected this level in here, and you just kept moving to the upside, and as price kind of continue to do that. And in here, there was no break of a low, there's no break of a low, and price just continue. We kind of created a little bit of a double top in here, kind of reacted all the way to the extreme, respected the next level, and we broke upwards. And this is kind of what we had then on Thursday. The price kind of slowing a little bit down, and eventually in the evening, and then eventually had that turn on the euro. I had identified kind of a good level, kind of start as soon as I noticed that we were about to break this. I started, of course, looking left to try to see maybe where can be good levels in there, fresh levels that maybe price can react from and have some kind of reaction to the downside. And I identified a little bit. Price didn't really touch it. I'm going to show you a little bit where that level is. But overall, in the bigger picture, if you actually look at the 4-hour time frame, I may even consider that price may go a little bit higher. Now, where price is reacting from, initially it reacted from the base of this, right? So it was a nice zone. Initially, as you can see, this high, it kind of reacted from this level in here, that eventually managed to break a little bit these lows. A second level that could be interesting, and that's basically where I was looking for, that we have all this compression zone, and somewhere in alignment with the break of this compression, that's usually a nice level to look for some kind of reaction as well. And as you can see, we have all these highs in alignment, and this is exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for price to go a little bit higher than this highs, and price at this point, it still respected that high, at least this high in here from this candle. It may have taken this high from this candle, but it respected that one. I was looking for price to go maybe like 5-10 pips a little bit higher before the turn. So yes, so initially, as I mentioned, yeah, price kind of reacted from this level first, now a little bit from that level, and eventually we may go a little bit higher. We'll go all the way through these left shoulders in here. It kind of a little bit in alignment as well with the break of that low. and that's maybe another zone that eventually euro is going to go to. However, as you can see, kind of environment a little bit with these levels, we already have a little bit of a reaction from there. Actually extend this one. Yeah, kind of have a double top in here. That's nice. That's something that we also like to see. Kind of double top and then kind of fake out. Is what I was about to try to look at is this high, but this high never really reacted from there. So it kind of paused. We have a little bit of this structure in here, and then we go a little bit higher into that level. And of course, as a last zone, it will be this level. As you can see, we have this candle. Price goes down, price goes up, and it becomes this beautiful structure. Eventually, this can be one of the last destinations for this move, this bullish move on the euro, all the way until there. And of course, we can maybe draw some new left shoulder in there, right? So that's something to keep an eye on in here. Right then, hello man. Oli Pasca, is that how you say it? No, Poli is many. How do you say it? Kala Pasca, maybe? Is that how you say it? Is it Kala Pasca, right? Calo, ole. Okay, Calo Pasca. Alright, yeah, my girlfriend's going to be happy with me. Yeah, she just flew to Greece yesterday, so I'm actually alone now. She's going to spend Easter with her family. So yeah, I know, right? I'm a little bit into your traditions now, and you have quite a few. Yeah, you do have quite a few. So yeah, hello Pascal, enjoy your Easter. Yeah, that's maybe eventually where price may go to. Yeah, man, going to spend more time with the charts. Time to stay in front of the charts until going to bed. What I was about to say. Yeah, so yeah, this was actually the level that I was looking on euro. As you can see, basically this kind of small supply level that is in there. There's a little bit of space. We have all these highs created in here, and that's exactly where I wanted euro to go to. However, they just stopped underneath it, right? They kind of respected whatever they reacted from this line in here, and they didn't really go into that. Can I see it? Yeah, into that level. Yes, we may have a little bit this, but it was already reacted from there. So I was actually looking for price to go a little bit higher into here. However, euro unfortunately didn't really reacted from there, and that created a little bit of indecision for me to then look for the short on euro. I literally wanted to see those, how many pips are these, like 3-4 more pips of price going into that level, and there you go. And basically then after that ignored a little bit, all the move. Yes, we basically looked a little bit of maybe where we can maybe eventually expect some reactions on the euro within this level. Again, this spike in here basically it's already reacting from that level, so that's a little bit weaker, and then eventually can maybe even go a little bit higher. So let's see. This is a good exercise if you want to do that. Again, this is a higher time frame zone. This exactly zone that we are drawing in here is basically the same, if you want, as this one. You just need to zoom into that on 5 minutes. This small rectangle in here, it's going to look like this big one. It's kind of to notice where is actually that low that started this move up. The base of that is usually it's a nice reaction, basically where euro just reacted now. It will be maybe in here, reaction in this area. It's usually a nice reaction from. Then you have kind of the left shoulder in there, and maybe there's even some kind of an extreme somewhere in there. So there's around like 2-3 levels to look for. within each zone in here. So yeah, euro, the bastard never really reacted from there. As you can see, kind of missed that zone for a bit. Nevertheless, then there you go. Reacted exactly into there during the news, and the big drop straight after that. We managed to break a little bit these lows just before kind of the move to the upside. We never really managed to break out this structure. I would actually have preferred, as an extra confirmation on the euro that I would have liked to see, it would have been the break of this structure, which really opened door to go to make the move that he did now. And it didn't really occur. So there was a few kind of missing kind of clues on the euro to then kind of literally attempt to that shorten. But again, I was definitely not expecting this kind of move with the retail sales news. This looks like an NFP kind of a news reaction, not the retail sales. It was, yeah, whatever, right? It is what it is. Charts. Yeah. So what's next for the euro? Actually, similar way to that I looked at the dollar index. This may be the beginning of a new cycle. It's going to be interesting to see literally on Monday if price by any chance is going to have that second leg move, kind of the second continuation, another day of moving to the downside. We may go. We make this may be actually the high for now. Even though on the euros you can see there's maybe more room to go upwards, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how price is going to open on Monday. I'm expecting another move down on Monday on the euro. Price kind of moved quite nicely to the downside. Try to find out within these levels where is maybe some zones that price may wants to go react from. Also, don't forget to look left in here. Also to see maybe where price may wants to these levels that should have been respected, and they weren't. If they can hold price down, they managed to break a little bit this low, react a little bit from this extreme now. Eventually may continue to move down, and let's see if you don't feel all this price all the way until there on the euro. Yeah, well, bigger picture, to be honest, I would still prefer to see euro going a little bit closer to that extreme. So yeah, we will see on the euro. Do you have any key levels, Faden, what you are looking for, either for a short or kind of a target for a long? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And the same way, like I mentioned before on the dollar index, that actually if price does create a little bit more of a lower low on the dollar index, kind of to go a little bit more closer to that level that I just mentioned, still open to that possibility. But yes, when you do see price having that synchronization on the timing of the move and reacting from good levels, yeah, that's interesting. That can mean something. Yeah, maybe more continuation to the downside in here on the euro. And then the pound, right? Pound, I prefer a little bit more where the highs are reacting from. Even though personally I don't even like anything in particular inside this level. I wouldn't mind to see price eventually going a little bit higher. Okay, let's just take a look at the euro. Let's just wait, not this one. This one. You would like a retrace to 1036. That's the high. Yeah, again, pay attention to this level in here. This can work. Is it that level? Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, keeping an eye on this level can be interesting as well. So don't ignore that that high that you just fake out. 1036, it will be somewhere in here, even though kind of this level is a little bit touched already. Yeah, somewhere in there could work. We kind of have a little bit of this fake out happening. It's just a 3 pip zones. Yeah, maybe somewhere in there. And then you're talking about 0.86 as a potential zone. Is it somewhere in here? Yeah, working all the way till here, right? Yeah, I do like that level. Yeah, if you by any chance going to fill all this, yes, maybe there's some kind of reaction still from here. It looks like a super obvious level at this point, so some kind of yeah, literally kind of targeting all the way this low. I think we're eventually going to get there in here. Yeah, maybe create some a little bit of structure, fake it a little bit before maybe making something like that, just to track more liquidity. Otherwise, I may not even just ignore all this level. This level, a lot of this looks compressed. Maybe something in here, and eventually, yeah, eventually we can go somewhere towards that that zone in there. So we'll see what's going to happen. For now, taking these lows and then open. Yeah, you could literally kind of go a little bit lower, take these lows, kind of retrace a little bit, and then maybe have a continuation. Create kind of this middle range. So it would be nice to see, for example, some kind of middle range being created in here, and then price kind of moving down or kind of retesting the 12 in here. Price continue to move down. If we do create this kind of range in here, maybe then in the future we can maybe go back to this level, attempt a new short in there. So that could be something interesting to look for. Yeah, you have that level. This has been touched quite a lot already. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, we need new PI, a new price action for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's just literally to see. I want to see kind of that a little bit of a structure kind of created a little bit in here. We have that continuation, and if you do that, that kind of gives maybe a little bit more strength on or confidence that maybe this may be the high for now on the euro. Just minimize this one. Pound, right? So pound, okay, reacted a little bit more from a maybe better level. Better with the euro, which is this. However, I personally still don't even like that much anything in here on the pound, even though this was a good level, right? Again, another beautiful Cosmodo, one of the last supplies in there as well. Nice reaction from here. Eventually we may go even a little bit higher, but for now, nice little reaction from that level. And now the reaction, right? Yeah. Again, while the euro reacted from the extreme, pound reacted from the left shoulder, kind of this level in here, as you can see. That's literally where it went to. Above, basically everything has been taken. As price was moving to downside, this was literally kind of the supply in there. We created this structure in here and leaving this supply in there, right? Kind of the pattern was created now with this level. Strong spike, which managed to break this level, kind of literally opening. I was already looking for kind of all this compression in here, targeting below this level, at least until here, if not even lower, because there is even the potential for price even may go all the way through. So this level in here was taken exactly by them with the news in there. So, and that's why it's important, just similar to the euro, it may work like that, just that high that we literally faked out, it can be literally used as a really good zone to look for a potential sell. For example, in here, that we actually managed to break this low, so this is kind of a valid kind of left shoulder as well. I think price already took with this move in here, right? So that level has already been taken with this spike in there. So that's basically taken in there, and then price literally just reacted from that level. So it was a really really nice zone where the pound reacted from. It managed to create this fake structure in here, attracting sellers within this level, spike, and a continuation to the downside. And there you go. Really strong move on the pound, and we may just continue to move down. We haven't really broken this level. We are going to break it most likely. So yeah. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I think 8 people now at this point. We are growing, fantastic. Nice equity curve that I can see on the views. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. So GU, you are looking at 2456. 2456. Is that for a continuation to the downside? 2456. 65. Yeah. To be honest with you now, this is where kind of using CTrader helps, is to, I want to analyze these levels. I'm just doing this now a little bit in a bigger picture, trying to see kind of the bias where I'm expecting price to go to. But I want to then check on CTrader on the tick chart, analyze a little bit these levels and try to see which zones actually were left behind. For example, this level in here, we have a little bit of a separation, right? This high never reacted from there, so this in here can be maybe something interesting to look for. For example, if you do break these walls here first, may go a little bit closer to that level, a little bit in alignment to the break of this compression zone, that could work. Something in here, yeah, maybe the 2456. That's what you are looking for. 2507. Yeah, that can be interesting as well. So yeah, aside from this, basically all of it has been almost compressed, and we can target maybe all the way at least below this low in here until kind of we reach maybe something underneath that level on the pound, and maybe that's a target for tomorrow. We may maybe retest that level, and you may feel this price in here. 30 pips at least, or even go all the way back and retest that low in there. So it would be nice to first have some kind of reaction to the upside, to the retracement to the upside. Sometimes it do happen during the Asian session, and all of a sudden when during the London Open prices are already kind of, it offered the best opportunity and it's gone. So let's see how the market's going to open and where price is going to be around the London Open. Try to take advantage of maybe another short on the pound to look for. Where is the IKM in here? We have all these wicks in here. But yeah, nice move. Again, maybe pound can be the higher high. And then of course we do have still this level of structure. We can have, as you can see, we have all these highs created, which one is it again? This one. Okay. All these highs created in here, which can also be a nice level to look for a continuation to the downside, right? Somewhere in alignment, something with here. In here, we have maybe this double top could be faked out into something in here. We have a little bit of this structure. So let's see if that's not going to be also a good level to look for, right? So yeah, more bearishness maybe on the pound in there. Yeah, euro pound, right? It's just literally moving upwards. Expecting to take this level and maybe getting closer to this range in here. Maybe a little bit of structure in here above these two highs, something to look for, but eventually maybe getting closer to that level. I think that could be possible. This was a nice move. Price just retested this level and continued to go upwards. So yeah, let's see what kind of move we are going to have in here. Yeah, maybe targeting this 88, now 967 can be interesting. We managed to respect this level. Nevertheless, we still managed to break this low, but then we respected these lows, right? So just let it go upwards, let it go a little bit closer to these highs in here, and then try to look for a short opportunity on euro pound. We have maybe a little bit of this level on the daily. to look for, just above the highs. Yeah, it's basically taken already in there. It's already taken. Don't remind it to have either anymore. Yeah, let's see. It's something to pay attention to, for sure. Aussie. Yeah, it was day open too. Right, cool. Yeah, the spike on the pound. Aussie. This. Oh well. Yeah, if you guys remember, this was the level that I had marked for me. Even when you created this high in here, I was still kind of looking for price to go a little bit higher. Price just reacted from the base of this. Again, a good exercise can be to go inside here and try to find out where are the kind of those 2-3 levels that price eventually could react from. And most likely you're going to find out that this one, well, I'll just do the opposite in this case. Check where this high reacted to inside here, check where this high reacted to inside here, and check where this high reacted to inside here. And you can do that kind of that exercise if you want to. But yes, overall, this was the zone that I was looking for price to go to. Even last week, or even when I created this high in here, I was already kind of waiting for price to go there. And there you go. It just happened like that with the news. Not exactly a big opportunity to unless you kind of have a sell limit in there, you don't really have any other chance to participate in this kind of move. And there you go. It's trading happening like that. But yeah, this was the level. Price reacted from there quite nicely, and we may resume now the move to the downside. You kind of already broke a little bit these lows. This level may have been taken already. If you do break below that level, and if you continue to navigate to the downside, we may resume, because actually this level in here was already break to the downside, and this could be a good level maybe to look for a continuation. Because if you do break above this level that price basically just reacted from, we may even eventually have a much bigger retracement, which can occur. But by any chance, if they actually dollar is actually about to go and move to the downside, maybe you can see Aussie going down. Yeah, so let's see what's going to happen on the Aussie. It was a really nice and strong move. We are again closing, getting close the date close to the low. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen on the Aussie. You can have another retracement. Nevertheless, especially the zone that I was looking for, price reacted from there, and you may continue to move lower. Because this one actually took that one. I could see price eventually going a little bit more towards that level. All right. Yeah, nothing much to mention on the Aussie. A lot of this looks compressed. You may have a little bit of a few zones in here. Even this man zone kind of has already been taken in there. It's a few zones in here, but eventually I would like to see price going and continue to move lower. Where from? Again, pay attention to some levels of structure or previous structure that maybe can hold price to the downside. Yeah, on the opposite side we have Euro Aussie. But yes, it had a really strong move upwards. Euro Aussie, we just took that high, this massive high in here. Euro Aussie, it has been a really nice pair to try to trade. We may go a little bit higher on the Euro Aussie. Maybe the final destination can be all the way until there. Nevertheless, we just literally took this high in here, so expecting that that move down was kind of natural. Anytime you kind of take that massive high, usually kind of retrace a little bit. Price kind of retrace a little bit from that level. There's maybe still something in here at this highs to look for an opportunity in there. So let it create now this kind of double top in here, and maybe then go and react a little bit from within this level. in here. That maybe that opportunity to happen on the Euro Aussie, maybe to look a little bit more for a move down. We'll see. And if you do have Aussie maybe going down, maybe the Euro Aussie is going to continue to go higher and getting a little bit closer to those highs on the left side. Yeah, we'll see. Eventually we may actually fill out this space all the way maybe close to this level on the Euro Aussie. In there. So let's see what's going to happen. But yeah, this level of demand as well is important. It'll be interesting. Yeah, so is Euro Aussie ready to continue to move down? It can. Another one that I want to see how price is going to react on Monday. In there. The yen pairs. The yen pairs. We broke these highs. We reacted a little bit from the base of this. Was this the final destination? It was a nice reaction from this kind of support resistance in there. Now, was this the final destination from this move upwards? Maybe not. Maybe actually price eventually is going to target this size and go a little bit higher. That's maybe what you will be looking on the dollar yen. Again, we broke those highs, kind of retested from all the way through this demand zone, and we are retesting in here again. So let's see if by any chance we want to do this or not. If the dollar yen index is approaching that demand zone that we saw, if by any chance that wants to hold and by any chance push yen to the upside, we may have dollar yen going to the downside. So let's see, price approach a little bit more this level, if it targets these highs, and if you even manage to break this structure in here or not. So it paused a little bit in there. It's going to be another pair to try to pay attention to. Again, another really nice reaction with the news all the way through this to this demand zone in here. This origin, this one already reacted from that level, now it reacted from that one, and the move to the upside with the news yesterday. Yeah, so that was that one. Dollar yen, euro yen just continues to move higher. We may go all the way through. We may take now this highs in here, and we eventually may go all the way through to take that those highs as well. Maybe there's a little bit of something underneath that can maybe hold price a little bit. Just zoom in into here. Maybe something in there can hold a little bit price as soon as we take these highs in there, which is basically what we are doing. Yeah, strong compression in here. On the way up, we may eventually may turn, and when you do, can be an interesting move. We had all these previous levels of structure. We broke it, kind of retested a little bit, and we just resumed the move to the upside. Again, just keeping an eye how price is moving upwards, and if you start having some lows being broken, we may have some turn. Maybe first initially this level, and if we kind of break below that level, we may have a little bit of a deeper reversal in here on the euro yen. So yeah, another one to keep an eye on. I will definitely be keeping an eye on as price is approaching this level in here, and maybe in particular even that level in there above those highs. In here, yeah, maybe somewhere in there. Compression. Of course, we have that extreme. We have all this level of structure in here. We can do it this one. Yeah, let's see. This one here also. In here can be interesting. Something in here just above that high, maybe price can have some kind of reaction. Aside from that, all this looks a lot of rest all the way to the extreme in there as well. Yeah, so let's see in here on the euro yen, eventually some kind of reaction in there. What else? Pound yen, right? So pound yen. Yeah, pound yen. Yeah, this was the move that I missed. Price reacted. It's such an obvious supply level, right? That you can see somewhere in there. Beautifully, we start having all these highs to fake out. Even have kind of a double top in there as well. However, when I was looking for the potential short, I wanted to have seen these lows being taken, and then the retracement. And since I kind of this low respected that low, kind of took me out of the opportunity. I wanted literally to see this low being taken first, and then try to sell it somewhere in here. But yeah, because of this low, I never did it, and there you go. I missed out this move. This move to the downside. Aside from that, literally below this level, everything was basically compressed, as you can see. So that's kind of the target that eventually I was looking for price to go closer to this lows again, because everything was compressed on the way up. There you go. I missed this short opportunity in here on the pound yen. But from that, price keeps respecting these lows in here. So let's see what kind of behavior or price movement we are going to have within this level. If by any chance we do break kind of below that level, eventually go and can go even farther down. There's maybe still those orders in here to look for. But I would again like to see maybe this was being broken before we price even go there. Otherwise, we may just continue to go higher in here, which there is that potential as well to kind of continue to move to the upside, getting a little bit closer to that level, right? We have seen the dollar yen, the yen pairs kind of moving upwards. We have seen the dollar yen, euro yen, and so on. But on the other hand, we have seen pound moving quite to the downside, right? And that's why we're kind of having this range in here on the pound yen altogether. Eventually, there's going to be some momentum being created towards one or the other direction. And CAD. CAD. Right, CAD was another one that I was looking for a potential buy opportunity yesterday. The compression to the downside for the last couple of days, it has been super notorious, right? We have been moving to the downside all the way, basically throughout all the week since we opened. Moving down, starting to compress a little bit in here, and this break to the upside in here, it was one of the reasons that it got my attention to look for a long. We finally managed to break one high, and we did it in here, and we had all this traction here, and then it was about try to look left to try to see where maybe price could react from, right? And as you can see, we're basically reaching all this level. We moved all the way up, and now we kind of retraced all the way back to the downside, and we basically reacted from one of the last, if not the last, zone within this level, which was inside here. That's basically where price spiked. Again, it was with the spike, not exactly much that could have been done in there. As I mentioned, I was not expecting such a reaction with the news. I was expecting some kind of a slow movement, and yeah, nice reaction. Price spiked into there and just moved higher and went all the way through, basically to reach one of the first targets, right? Which would be this first zone in here after break of this low. So kind of one of the first targets has been taken. So now let's see if we are within this range, which direction we are going to break first. If we kind of manage to break a little bit higher, we may continue to move higher, and we may try to attempt to go all the way there. This is where I was trying to also to look for the sell. Price never really retraced as much as I wanted. I wanted for price to go closer to this level and to try to attempt the sell after we managed to break these lows and enter into this compression. But price never retraced as much as I wanted on the dollar CAD. Let's see which direction CAD is going to go to. Are we going to manage to break out these walls and resume the move to the downside or not? Right then, what are you looking on the card? Even the yen. You didn't mention any levels on the yen. What levels are you looking for? And this is, again, this kind of movement, this compression up, is just beautiful, right? To eventually look for price to fill out that. You can even target this wall, or by any chance, if you still have more room to the downside, you can even target lower than that, or just keep an eye as well as price is moving down in there. Okay, let's take a look at the yen again. You mentioned 132.92, 132. Yeah, below this level. It's not a visible zone yet. All the way until the 15 minutes, we don't really see that level. But then when you go into the 5 minutes and 1 minute, we see them, right? That's actually, sometimes those are the best zones. When the level itself is kind of hidden in the higher time frames and just visible on the lower ones. Because people may think that, okay, after price actually breaks these lows, there's nothing in here and price is going to drop, and all of a sudden price actually pauses and reverses. So those are usually maybe good levels to look for. And yes, I agree. I do kind of like that that zone somewhere in here to see price being respected, and then maybe continue to move to the upside. Now let's keep an eye on that one. Yep, I don't like it. First maybe have a little bit of that one. Yeah, you'd like the highs to be broken first. Yeah, of course. Me too. Because if by any chance if price kind of respects this level and starts moving down, it may go all the way back to. You may go all the way back there. But if you break the highs again, kind of showing a little bit more bullishness, and maybe you can retrace, and then continue resume the move to the upside. Right, something. Whatever, something like that. Yeah. And for the highs, kind of a little bit more in there. But I wouldn't be surprised if by any chance if you approach these highs, I'll definitely look for all these highs to be taken, and for price to go maybe retest this previous level support resistance towards in there, somewhere in there, like to go a little bit higher than this. Even though we may have still kind of this left shoulder in here, maybe something in there that could hold price, and price can indeed be respected in there. Eventually, I'd like to see price going higher in there. Yeah, USD CAD, okay, kind of respected that level. Let's see how price is going to react from here. Kind of reacted already from there. Let's see how price is going to react some from this level in here, and of course there's maybe still all the way through here, but maybe price can still go to in there. Yeah, but again, I think I would have preferred to see maybe this size being taken, or this level of structure in here that kind of broke this level, to be actually taken to the upside, and then maybe price could go there. But let's see, it's a level, of course, to keep an eye on. If by any chance even price goes and wants to go all the way back to this level, perfect. May offer the best risk reward to try to resume the move higher. And then we have dollar franc Swiss, right? Which, there you go. It basically reaches is one of the final targets that it could have. If you guys remember, when did we create this level? Right, back in October. It was October, right? Yeah, October, November. I did around that time when we respected this size, when we started to move. First of all, I think I covered all this moving here, as expecting to move down. And if you remember, I did a higher time frame analysis around that time, and I mentioned, for me, even this low in here already kind of broke that level structure, and I'm literally bearish enough to see price going all the way to test this level, if not even eventually break new lows. Of course, price can retrace a little bit from this level. And I mentioned also that if you do break below this level, eventually looking for price to look for this full compression, a little bit maybe of a pause in here, a little bit maybe of a pause in there, but eventually to go all the way through and to kind of getting closer to this level. Now that was my view. If this was a 5 minutes time frame chart, that would definitely be a target if I was short from there. On the daily, it may, because it's a daily time frame, and I don't really think that, some people may even think that it's impossible to make that kind of prediction for the next few months. But there you go. Again, the price action kind of working really nice and showing where the next levels are. And yes, we just took this massive monthly and weekly low, this one in there, this one in here, and after that we should be kind of looking for a potential reversal. And it reacted really nicely from that demand zone inside here. You can even maybe, if you want, kind of catch this low in here, but it reacted really nicely from this demand zone. That this low never really reacted from there. I think it reacted from here, or maybe there. But yeah, it's all this structure in here that basically price end up reacting from. Eventually, we may even continue to go lower and even take this double low in here, maybe getting a little bit closer to that level. But for now, taking that level, it looked like super nice. And then there you go, continuation to move. Took the orders from there, also reacted from here overnight, and then another one, right? We managed to take basically that high and another spike during the news, the continuation to the upside, and that was basically it on the dollar franc Swiss. Another good reaction from the spike, reacting where it should have, kind of the origin of this move upwards, kind of that kind of KM zone within that level, earning. And let's see now. Let's see if we manage to break this structure, if we continue to move upwards a little bit more to the upside, retest maybe all this previous level of structure in here before resuming the move to the downside. So let's see what's going to happen. We may go all the way in there. As you can see on the daily time frame, we kind of retested the previous bearish open in there. So we may be within this range, and eventually we may break it and we get closer to this next level of structure in here. So that's maybe the play zone that we're going to be looking for on dollar franc Swiss. So looking at how price is going to behave within these levels, we may even have a new attempts to look for long opportunities if price retraces and gets back closer to these lows in there. We may even take this one in here, retest this level in there. Okay, this is the structure. Okay, see, as you go into lower time frames, you can get a little bit more information about the levels themselves. Yeah, so let's see. In here, this can be an interesting one to look for. But eventually, of course, I would prefer to see price going a little bit higher towards that level. Yep. I told you, Faden. I told you to look at dollar franc Swiss, man. We are close to a potential reversal. I know that I don't want to add more pairs into your portfolio, onto your watch list, but there you go. It's another one. And now gold. What we have on gold, right? Gold literally filled all the compression all the way down, reacting from basically the target, this demand zone inside here. This one was spiked, taken in there. This one kind of taken in there, spike, compressed, went in here. That level, it was one of the last demand zones. It worked now as a sell. There you go. Nice review move as well. Overnight, this one could have been a really great entry, and then also this one in here after you broke this wall could have been a great a great opportunity. Looking left, I think I was looking for price to go a little bit higher, but in reality this was already a really good level. We are getting really close to these all-time highs in here, which eventually they may be faked out or taken as we keep approaching them. We are literally in this kind of move in here on gold. Let's see if we manage to kind of hold this high or not. If we even break it, maybe next destination is going to be here. If you do manage to break out this, then yeah, then maybe you can go all the way back to 1,800 again. So let's see. The compression for now is kind of like this, and then all the way until there. So yeah, if we break below this level, maybe looking for that can be interesting. But yes, looking left, where did price reacted from? Right, and it reacted from this supply level, which was a good zone. I was looking for price to go a little bit higher towards that level at 2053, but this one was still valid as well. Okay, don't have like that. Yeah, it reacted from this level in here. Nice reaction. Yeah, I was looking for that one. Eventually that one can still be one of the last zones, but if you do approach and start approaching these all-time highs, eventually they may be respected. Initially it looks like, okay, it's a really nice zone of resistance working as a double top or triple top. Eventually I want to see them being taken. Yeah, nice reaction from that level on gold in here. As you can see, it was still fresh, that level, and from here actually it's when we kind of managed to break out this zone in there. So it's definitely a valid zone where gold reacted from in there, and now nice PA in here as price was moving down. So we reached this level. Let's see how price is going to react from here and what levels. Even if you retrace a little bit to the upside again, yep, maybe there's that potential. Or if by any chance price kind of retracted from here now, so that's kind of a little bit taken. We'll see what's going to happen in there. We have a little bit of this structure as well. Again, maybe noticing a little bit of a middle range, price moving down, and then eventually can go a little bit higher in the future. Maybe breaking out this level first. Yeah, or even taking this one, and maybe then we have a deep retracement to then kind of resume the move down in there. So let's see. If by any chance the dollar wants to go higher, maybe gold's going to go down in here. Oil, right? Oil, since we had that huge gap 2 weeks ago, it ranged and now is trading within this level, right? So we finally managed to break above this level in here. Right, we managed to break a little bit above this level, which can be a concern if the oil price starts to increase. May rise some concerns regarding the inflation. So yeah, let's see where oil is going to go to, if we're going to continue to move much higher. As you can see, we reacted perfectly from this origin in here. So let's see if we're going to continue to move a little bit more to the upside. Maybe something in there to look for. A lot of it was compressed on the way down. Maybe this level 85.8 can be interesting. But yes, the way oil has been moving, there's a lot of compression. I was looking still a little bit more for this supply zone in here. I've been looking for it for kind of quite a while. In there, even though it looks like price may have already retested that level on the way down. Why I don't have PM 30 minutes? Yeah, it has been kind of touched a lot already. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen, because this was already reaction from there, this one kind of reacted from there. Right, looks a little bit weaker on our time frame. And yeah, let's see if by any chance oil is going to react from here and start moving a little bit down. Are we even going to manage to break below these walls and fill the gap that there is in here, or not, or just going to continue to move higher? Right, so that's kind of what I'll be looking for. Again, just same topic: break of the structure, create a range. Break of a high creates a little bit of a structure in here until kind of this value is actually broken. We don't really need to attempt to look for much sells in here, or kind of a big turn. Otherwise, maybe price actually just wants to continue to go higher. Yeah, and I'm going to be curious to see how price is going to react from that level in there on oil. And there you go, crypto, right? It's been skyrocketing during this week. We managed to kind of creating a little bit of this range, as you remember. On the 4-hour time frame, we kind of managed to break a little bit below this wall, but this is where then it's important to also look into the lower time frames, because as you can see, even on 1 hour, we literally see that price literally just reacted from this demand zone. There's not exactly, at least in that moment, and in goof down, we have kind of this compression zone. You may want to fill it. Let's see how price is going to react from there. Looking left, and where BTC is reacting from. Here we go. We are literally approaching this level. We reacted from the 31k mark. Last time it was in June. And yes, another exercise, right? Try to find out within these levels where are the rest of the remaining fresh levels in here, kind of fresh supplies in there. Where are they? And as you can see, this was one of them, right? This one in here, since this was never really reacted from there, just full compressed in there. So that was kind of one of the last ones. You can even see as well. I'll try to find out now from here, and then extend the rectangle, extend the trend, horizontal line, and see actually if price reacted from the levels that identified or not. It's a good practice to do. Yes, this was one of the last ones. This basically is already retested in here. This one was already retested in there, and maybe it will be kind of the extreme of the extreme in here, kind of where maybe price may go to. So let's see, like above this level, it's nothing much, and maybe change time frame a little bit. There isn't. Okay, this time frame, maybe that's still there. Literally this one was taken by that one. It's already about top in there. There you go. You may even go upwards and break, just like Ethereum. Right? Ethereum may be leading the way with that strong move. We'll see. But that level for now, really nice reaction. Another strong move in there. There's maybe still orders inside here. At the highs, on Ethereum, on the Bitcoin, BTC. So even if you kind of go a little bit above this highs, you may kind of retest that level, and may go lower, and you may go back to this level in here. So interesting how strong crypto has been. And let's see what's next. Let's see if you break above this level, right? If you break above it, you may open doors to go a little bit higher, but you may actually have some kind of retracement first before the continuation to the downside. You can see all this structure in here. I still like this 25k mark. It kind of hold price for a while, and chance if you even retrace all the way there, we can maybe resume and continue to go higher. If you do break above, for example, if you do break above this level, you maybe could retrace. And then kind of continue to move down like this. Kind of could make something like this in here. So it's going to be interesting to see. We do have kind of these levels in here, this structure as well, something in there to look for in there as well. So let's see what's going to happen with Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Ethereum just literally broke through, and we are literally taking this high in a bit. We broke this structure, continue to go higher again. We never managed to break below this level, kind of kept respecting the structures in here, and eventually we just exploded to the upside, getting a lot of range and structure in here. Yeah, expecting maybe price to continue to go a little bit higher, maybe taking this high. In here you can start looking left to see maybe what's next. With the next could be maybe this 2290 mark somewhere in here. Eventually there as well. Let's see if this level in here is going to manage to hold price. There's a nice reaction. Price never broke below this level, so kind of similar to what we just discussed. Breaking this level, great structure. If price breaks below this level, there's maybe that potential to do this. If price keeps respecting this level, eventually you're going to just continue to move higher, right? So these are important zones that you need to identify when price breaks important key levels. And that's basically it, guys. Keeping an eye on it, maybe expecting price to break above this level in here, and then then we'll see what's going to happen next. Yeah, what else? That's basically it. Anything else, guys? Any levels that you are looking for this week? I don't think there is any relevant news event going on today. For next week, I think there's going to be some data coming out for CPI in the Eurozone, I think in the UK. Aside from that, nothing much. So let's see what kind of opportunity we are going to have for next week. Expecting the dollar maybe to continue to move to the upside after the reaction from those lows. Yen, interesting to see how price is going to behave somewhere in this level. In here to see if we're going to push price upwards or not, or if by any chance we're going to just resume the move to the downside, and even break below this low, and maybe continue to move lower. Euro index as well, kind of to see where price is going to eventually do around this level, and you may go all the way maybe that 104 mark. Yeah, let's see with the indices as well. Are you going to finally break a little bit more the structure and getting closer to those highs from August? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye then. Happy Easter again. Have a good one. I'll see you guys back next Saturday. Thank you. Bye bye.